Hey vinyl community, it's Aural Retentive. Coming to you with some records to show. But first, some 8 tracks. So, Darren, one of the contestants in my 100 subs contest, loves Rush. And I told, we were talking, and I mentioned, I can't remember what started the conversation, but I told him I said Chronicles, but what I was referring to was back in the day, the first 3 Rush albums were packaged in like a 1 3-album set. It was actually called Archives. And so we were talking about that a little bit. And I told him I had them on 8-track, and he's like, oh, that's so cool. So I wanted to show those. So yeah, I got these. 25 cents each. This is Volume 1 and Volume 2. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, okay. So this is a collector's limited edition, according to this. And as opposed to some of my other 8-tracks that I've picked up over the years at garage sales or whatever, these actually work. They play pretty good. I picked up. What do I do with it? Another edit. Sorry about that. Anyway, I picked this up a year or 2 ago. The Broadmoor. Is that even a thing anymore? This is model 1470. The Broadmoor 8-track with the fine tune button right there. That's comes in handy. I picked this up for like $30, I think, and it works. It looks like, this is top of the line connectors right there. Yeah, it's good stuff. But it works. So I bought it because I picked up, and I have not gone down this road, but I did buy a shoebox full of 8-tracks, most of which were total garbage. But I saw this in it. I'm like, yeah, I gotta get that Abbey Road on 8-track. That'd be crazy cool, right? Well, they taped over it with Johnny Horton. So when I finally did, get the 8-track player, because I got these and I had them for like a year or 2 years, right? And eventually got the 8-track player. And first thing I put this in, and it actually is Johnny Horton. So they had the Beatles Abbey Road on 8-track, and they recorded over it. People, what are you doing? But over the years, I picked up a couple other ones here and there. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. I think that was from a garage sale. Excuse me. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here on 8-track for 99 cents from Half Price Books. And also this one. Now this is, excuse me. This is one of those. I don't even know. It says Media 2 is the brand name label, right? But it's Pink Floyd metal. But it's like one of these. What's the name? I can't. Not K-Tel, but there was another brand that did a lot of 8-tracks back in the day. And this one, like you can see the thing inside is loose. A little pad that, So I've never actually decided whether I want to try to get like some old 8-tracks and crack these open and try to fix them, and they come apart and you can re-spool them or whatever. 8-track stuff. But anyway, I wanted to show these to Darren. They're pretty cool. Not sure what this collector's limited edition it is. don't think anybody's collecting them anymore. If these had been like, $4 a piece, I probably wouldn't have bought them. But at 25 cents a piece, I mean, they're cool just to sit on the shelf, right? Anyway. 'Tis the Season. This is a 45. Great holiday hits. It's got instrumental of The Night Before Christmas on one side, and The Night Before Christmas narrated by Burl Ives on the other. And this will not mean anything except for people in the Madison area, but it looks like it was a freebie from Easttown Mall. I will have to research that one. But, can't go wrong with Burl Ives, right? Alright, what else? So, picked this up. Van Morrison. This is no guru, no teacher, no method. No. Nope. It's no guru, no method, no teacher. Sorry. I do love me some Van Morrison. And, I have to say that even though I do really, really like Van Morrison's voice, some of the material that he's doing these days, like these duet things, it's not really so much for me. But this older stuff, like, I don't know how far, I don't have all of his albums, nor have I listened to, I guess, all of them, but this is part of the good period, I would say. So I came across this one and I'm like, I have to get this. I'm not sure what this is. Probably some famous statue that I should probably know, but I don't know what it is. And then I picked this up, The Pretenders. Now traditionally I'm not a big Pretenders fan, but I have to say that the only Pretenders songs I've really heard or that I can think of are, of course, Brass in Pocket, and, oh man, I can't even think of the other one. But, lately, I've been listening to the Next Wave. I think it's basically like the 80s channel on Sirius XM, and they've been playing a lot of Pretenders. The Weight, and I think it's Stop Your Sobbing. And I'm like, man, particularly the song The Weight, I'm like, I really like that. And so I saw this for $2, and I'm like, I'm going to give it a shot. So, I have not listened to this yet, but I want to say that I had this back in the day, because I liked some Pretender songs I heard on the radio. This is from '80. I don't remember. So, I thought I owed it to myself to give him another shot. And, I like this picture on the back. She's like fixing his pant leg or something, and that's the picture they took, and this guy's going, look, she's fixing his pant leg. Okay, now this one goes up particularly for Peaches. He's been doing a bunch of 80s stuff, and got me psyched up on 80s, and I've been dragged out a bunch of stuff. I was listening to, Duran Duran and Adamant, and The Alarm, a bunch of 80s stuff. And then I came across this in the record store, and I was like, oh, Arcadia, So Red the Rose. So basically, there was a period of time when Duran Duran, they were kind of, I don't know if they weren't really breaking up, but they kind of went off and did some side projects. And this one is Roger Taylor, Nick Rhodes, and Simon LeBon, which is like, the majority, I guess, of Duran Duran. And they produced this. This is the one and only album from Arcadia. Just fantastic songs. Election Day, Keep Me in the Dark, Goodbye is Forever, The Flame, Missing, and we got Rose Arcana, The Promise, El Diablo, and Lady Ice. And you got all kinds of people. Oh, not all kinds of people. I don't have the inner sleeve, dagnabbit. I'm pretty sure it came with a printed inner sleeve. But I think like Stanley Jordan plays on this. Sting sings background on is it The Flame? I can't remember. But sings on this. I had this on cassette and I played it and played it and played it and played it and played it. And one day it broke on me and I was devastated. And so my plan was always to get it again on CD, but that never happened. And so coming across this on vinyl. Okay. Now we have 2 Hipgnosis covers. Paul McCartney, Tug of War. And you're like, what? This is from the 80s, right? Yeah. This is from 1982. They were still doing Hipgnosis covers in 1982. I don't know if this is the last one, but... let's see. Gotta go to my Bible. They were doing stuff in 84 even. Yep, there's the... There he is up there, 84. So that was... And you go all the way to... Let's see what the last one was. Per this book. Their last one was Barry Gibb. It's probably... Oh, no, I'm sorry. My apologies. This one is the last one. I have this one, though, the Barry Gibb one. This is the last one. It's 1994. What? I wonder if that's a typo. Because it's like 83, 84, 94. I'll have to look into that one. Drag City. Is anybody familiar with this album? It's the one with the ducks. That's ducks on the wall. Pretty disgusting. Gross, but... Anyway, I digress. So yeah, this is not one of the more spectacular Hipgnosis covers there has ever been. Kind of just pixelized, right? There you go. Hipgnosis. It's a Paul McCartney. I don't know that I necessarily would have gone this late in his catalog. But it's a Hipgnosis cover, so I had to get it. So, and then we have this one. Now this one comes particular with a memory. This is Pink Floyd's Umaguma. Yes, I know this is not the original. The originals have the GG album here, and for whatever reason they whited it out. But I saw this and I couldn't resist it. So this album is kind of mixed for me, right? It's basically, the first album is all live stuff, and then the second album is studio stuff, where they basically split each a record side. Side 3 has Richard Wright and Roger Waters. Side 4 has Gilmour and Nick Mason. So the memory I have of this album, I remember hearing, I think I picked up Dark Side of the Moon, and I'm like, oh, I love Pink Floyd, and I got this, and I'm like, what the hell? I wasn't really prepared for the really... when Pink Floyd started off, it was just like psychedelic stuff, right? And then in the 70s, they kind of went a whole different direction. So I wasn't prepared for this. But I remember hearing something about this that really affected me when I was a kid, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get this, right? My half brother Mark, he was hippie, was into all kinds of crazy stuff, right? But he was staying with us for a while, and I remember he's like, Mike, come check this out, and he had pulled the speakers for the stereo out, and they were like pointing at each other, right? And he and I sat in between the speakers, and he played me the street fight scene or whatever from the Alice Cooper School's Out album, you know, where people are running back and forth and you hear all this stuff, and I was like, whoa, what is going on? I think it was the first time I ever heard, like, you know, music that went from speaker to speaker, and so it kind of freaked me out. But then he played me this Grantchester Meadows, the Roger Waters track, right? And so at the, you know, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's a nice, you know, acoustic kind of track, and you hear like birds and everything. And then at the end, you hear somebody going downstairs, and they like go from one speaker to the other speaker, and then you hear him like there's like a fly buzzing, and you hear him like swatting at stuff. And then all of a sudden you hear schwack, you know, like they get it. And then it immediately goes into the song track number 6, which is several species of small furry animals gathered together in a cave and grooving with a pick. And, you know, it's just like, ooh, hee, ah, you know, just all these weird noises. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? So yeah, this album is very interesting. I have come to appreciate the psychedelic Floyd, particularly, you know, like these tracks. This is Astronomy Domini, Careful That Axe Eugene, Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun, and A Saucer Full of Secrets. You know, I have come over the years to appreciate that kind of stuff, but I still prefer, you know, Dark Side of the Moon and Animals. I think Animals is my favorite Pink Floyd, but I saw this and I'm like, oh, I know I need this one, so I picked it up. I don't know how much more expensive one is that has this Gigi cover. But ultimately, I will probably have to get one of those too. But in the meantime, I have this. So yeah, 2 more Hipgnosis covers. Peaches, you got this one? Man, you gotta get this one. Pretenders and Van Morrison. That is likely to be my last display of new stuff before Christmas. After this, I think we're gonna be on a self-imposed hiatus for a bit. There's a couple contests I'd like to enter. Might do some of those videos tomorrow if those contests are still going, and also. Let's make 2018 a great year. It's going to be good. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.